Alright, so in this video, I want to show you how to calculate your tax yourself as an employee, right? And how your HR is calculating your tax. So if you are planning of probably getting a new jobs and you are discussing your salary, you should be able to know what your net income is, right? Now, the first thing we have here is personal income tax. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel or you're not following me on my social media handle at Map Corporate, please do so that you can, get more educational content. So the first thing we have here is an actual salary in a year, which is gross income, right? It's also known as gross income. Your gross income, that is, nothing has been removed yet. Tax has not been removed. Allowable deductions so has not been removed. So let's say this is 1.2 million. You get 100,000 every month. So if you multiply it by 12, so it means you have 1.2 million as your gross income. Now there are some statutory deduction, there's some allowable deduction that you are expected to remove, to relieve your tax before you go ahead and calculate your taxable income. Now, example number one is rent paid. This is a new thing that was actually introduced to this new tax act. Is at cap of 500,000 naira. What that means is that if you are paying house rent that is more than 500,000, maybe 900,000, it's only 500,000 you can remove. But for this person collecting 1.2 at the end of the year, at least I know that the rent can still be around 300,000. So this is just an example. So any amount you're paying as your rent, you can easily come here and put it in. If I come here to put 500,000 naira, right? If I come here to put 500, you can see it shows the 500,000. If I increase this to 600,000 naira, let's say I'm collecting 1.2, which is not actually really possible, Dosha. So you see 600,000 naira, it will not go ahead to increase it to 600. The maximum you can remove is, it has already been capped at 500,000. However, this person is paying 300,000 naira. So I'm going to change this to 300,000 naira. Now, next is pension contribution. So as an employee, you are allowed to contribute 8% from your active year to your pension, while your employer contributes 10%. You pay 8%, while your employers pay 10%. So this is also annually, right? So it's going to be 8% of your gross income of this 1.2, that is 96,000. It means that yearly basis you are paying 96,000. Next is mortgage interest. If there is any mortgage you are into and you are paying interest on that particular one, you are allowed to remove it, right? You are allowed to remove the interest on it, which is not, I'm not sure there's any mortgage, I mean, that you can actually talk of. So, but anyway, interest on loans for your owner occupied residential housing and all that. So if there's any mortgage you are, of, you can remove your interest here that you are into, you can remove it here. So life insurance premium, this is it. We have 10, let's say this person is paying 10,000 for life insurance premium. The amount will be here. We have National Housing Fund, right? National Housing Fund. If there's any National Housing Fund that you are into, then you can also go ahead to remove it, right? That one is the 2.5% of your gross. 2.5% of gross, 2.5% of your gross of 1.2 million will give us 30,000 naira. Now, next over here is National Health Insurance Scheme. So if you are into any insurance scheme, right? It can be any amount. So you just comment. There's actually really no percentage for that. Same thing to this life insurance premium. So you can add it. So if you look at it now, we have a total allowable deduction of 441,000 naira. So you see, we remove this 1.2 from 1.2. We are going to have a balance of 759. So which means you are not going to be paying tax, because if it brings to this our tax bracket from 0 to 800,000, the total money you are earning annually is not even up to 800,000. Can you see? I mean, your total taxable income is not up to 800,000. So which means you are not going to be paying tax. You see, tax band, you're having 0 to pay. So if we come down, we are going to see that at the end of the month, you are going to be going home with your net. You see, you're going to be going home with this net. So you're not going to be paying tax. Now let's increase this to, let's say you are doing this is 1.2 million let's increase this. So let's say annually your salary is 2.4 million naira, right? 2.4 million naira. And this time around, because you're earning 2.4 million, you have moved to apartment of, let's say, 600,000 naira. You see, our rent paid over here has increased to what? 500,000. Now, pension contribution too has increased. That's 8% of your gross. And mortgage interest, that one is 0. Life insurance premium, maybe you are now, you've now increased that one to 20,000 naira. You see, national health, NHF 2.5 basic salary of your gross income, right? Then NHIS, you can put any amount. So let's increase this to 25,000 naira. It has, our calculation has automatically calculated itself. So if you remove it, you're having 1,603,000 naira. So if you come here, look at this 1,000,000. See what just happened over here. So it means that we now have 800,000, your first 800,000, this is our balance, 0 to 800,000. You are not going to be paying tax. So regardless of whatever your income is, just know that your first 800,000, no tax on it. If you remove 800,000 from this 1,603,000, you will have a balance of 803,000. You see, so that one have to now split over to band 2, bracket 2, from 800, which has from 800,000 to 3.2. So the balance we have here is what? 803. So it means this is the only thing you're going to be paying tax on. 803,000 naira. You see, at 7%, this is the rate. Then you're going to be paying 56,210. 56,210 means that your net annual income, your gross, our gross, which is how much? 24 million naira, minus the total tax that you're going to be paying. This, don't forget, this one is on annual payments. 56,210. That is how we have our balance of 20 of that's where we have a balance of 2,343,790. So if you want to now know the total money you're going to be going home with at the end of the month, this is it, 195,315. And the tax that will be removed from your money every month will be what? 4,684. If we increase this is how much? 2.4 million. Let's increase this to 10 million naira. See, let's say on the 120 million. Let's say on a monthly basis, you are getting 100 million as your take home, right? Sorry, let's increase this to 12 million naira. 12 million. So let's say your monthly salary is 1 million naira every month. So that will give us 12 million naira as take home. So of course, your rent too, you cannot be living in a house of let's say 600,000 at the end of the year. So maybe it has increased to 900,000. You see, this net will not change from 500,000. Pension contribution is still 8% of your gross. You see, it has increased to 960. Mortgage, no. Insurance, maybe you have increased your insurance to let's say 200,000, right? Then your housing fund is still remain 2.5% of your gross. National health insurance scheme. So let's say you are contributing 150,000 this time around. Any amount you are contributing is what you're going to put in. You see, it has adjusted our total allowable deduction that we cannot remove from this amount is how much now? Is now 2,110,000 naira. Then we see the balance. This is the money that will be taxed. You are not going to be paying tax on this 12 million. It is now on 9,890,000 naira, right? So now from here now, you see that our this thing has increased. If you notice before, this band, where we have this band, right, it was just on band 0, band 8,000, sorry, 800,000 to 3.2, 3.2 to 8 million. But now it has come down to from 8 million naira to 20 million. So what that means is that first, our 0 to 800 bandwidth will be removed, 800,000, right? So there's not going to be tax. That one is a zero tax. You see, no amount here. Now, the second one, if you remove the 2.4 million, so it's simple. It's just like 3.2 million minus 800,000. So if you remove it, it's going to give you 2.4 million. And this is what we have here. right? So when we remove it, you have the 2.4, you're going to calculate it on 7%, which means you're going to be paying a tax of 168,000 on that one. Because we still have more, you still have more balance, because all these things you have here, the total you have on this your bank tracker, this 800,000 must accumulate to this 989,000. So the next is what? From 8 million to 420 million at this tax bracket, right? So we have our 4.8. We have our 4.8 million. So from this 4.8 million, what do we need to do? 11% applies to it. Then next is the last one, which is 189,000. If you add all these three money together now, this 800,000, 2.4, 4.8, and this last one is going to give you a total of this 9,890,000. So that is how we calculate it, and your tax will be calculated based on this, and it means you're going to be paying 979,500 naira, right, on a yearly basis if you are collecting that amount. So it means that your take home will be your gross. Don't forget our gross that we have here. Our gross here, right? This 12 million naira minus your total taxable income of 979,500. It gives us this balance. Then from here, we can now divide it into 12 to know how much you're going to be going home with. So instead of 1 million naira every month, you're going to be going home with 918,375. My advice is that when you are calculating your salary, maybe you just want to be newly employed, I will advise you calculate based on net. Know the total net that you are going home with and see if it is okay with you or not. Do you understand? So if you have negotiated based on net, you know that this is money that is coming in. You see all this money that they are removing, it is now the duty of your employer to remit it on your behalf using your details. Do you understand? So you can keep on going on and on, increase this one to 100 million. Let's say we have somebody earning up to 100 million. You see, all this has increased again. You can also increase this particular one here, right? They have all increased. So you see, if you look at our tax, and you see this one has this is our tax bracket now. We've exhaust everything. You see what we have here now. So the total taxable for this person will be about how much? 17,908,500. You see, and that's if the person is earning like 100 million in a year. So that is how to use it. If you need this Excel calculator, this thing that I've just prepared, now if you need the Excel sheet, please let me know in the comment section. We find a way to just say, ma, I need the Excel calculator, the Excel sheet. I'll find a way to make it available. If you don't need it, no problem. All right, I hope you're able to learn something. Follow this video so that you don't miss out on more educational content like this on my channel. Bye bye.